mimosas, we had coffee, we had ice cream. So yes, so please understand. It's also like 5, no, 4:30 almost. We have a washing machine, which is great because we've been traveling for a week now and we need a lot of refreshments. And we just did laundry. We have this. We don't have someone to dry the clothes, so we assume that we have to dry the clothes in here. Gwangali Beach feels like eternal summer. It feels like your problems fade away at a single touch of the water. The people are an escape from the heaviness life can bring. It truly feels like a fever dream, but a good fever dream. Everyone is being themselves, and the people are so warm to one another. We really asked the girl to take our picture at the swing, and she was so encouraging. A hype woman for real.
Video. Beep. Beep. Good.
There was a feeling that anyone can just indulge in the silliness, and no one will judge. No one will reprimand. And when that feeling got too delirious, we stepped out from some well-deserved dinner. But first, a rabbit and a dog. I have never been at a lamb barbecue where the lamb barbecue was so tender, so juicy. It really made me question my tastes. I feel like South Korea as a whole does that. It challenges your status quo. To digest the deliriousness and the delight of the night, the city offers many things. But I was still thinking about this lamb. This was incredible. The city offers entertainment for the soul, entertainment for the heart, and community building and cementing by making pictures public, but also by looking out for local art, local artists, community entertaining community. And this was really one of my favorite things in Busan. This is community. Community is entertaining each other. It's making pictures public. It's singing by the beach. but it's also reaching out to friends, family, to check in if they need anything. This really, really made me reflect how our societies were made. It's day 2 in Jeju. Oh no, stop. It's too early. Not so much. But we're going on a day tour to discover the city and the nice areas of historical places. And this is our view once we leave the building. The best thing we did as chill travelers is to book a tour. I loved Busan, but the way to and from was so paved with hills and didn't make for easy roaming. So our first stop was Haedong Yongsan Temple. This is called the most beautiful temple in Korea, and it was. I was so taken by the beauty that I was mostly in the moment. And truly, this was one of the most beautiful temples I've ever seen. The way it blends and is ingrained in nature is out of this world. The colors, the symbolism, everything is so carefully and meticulously thought through. I love visiting places of worship around the world because the dedication, the love, the worship put into making these places beautiful is truly breathtaking. And the sound of the waves crashing is amplified at every corners, as if it is to remind us that we are mere humans. P.S. Do go a little early as it gets really crowded.
On your right side, this is Gwanghwali Beach. There's lots of pubs and cafes and famous beaches in Busan. Haeundae, popular beach, and Gwanghwali is also popular beach. Every Saturday night in Gwanghwali Beach on 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. they have a drone show. So where they fly the drones and then you guys can see they'll make it a shape.
Busan is really built around nature and you can feel it. You can see it and hear it at every turn. Our next stop was Daejongdae, a beautiful viewpoint nested in a park, which makes for a beautiful hike. One thing that really struck me when I was in Korea was how the country is so well thought. The country is built for its people, and it is there to make life easier, as if nature is calling out to the people, and age was no matter. There were ladies in their 80s hiking with their friends, and I never thought once that it was strange because the infrastructure was there to support them. For example, having paved sidewalks, roads inside of the parks, food stalls at different hiking points. All of these things made life a lot easier. Having food stalls with warm foods, clean equipped bathrooms, and self-cooking areas made for an exciting adventure out and a reason to go for a hike. When time came for us to take a break, we had a lovely spread prepared by lovely older Korean ladies. On the other hand, all of these people that are elderly still working, mostly in food services as it was our main interaction as tourists, made me think of my parents and elderly people back home. How would I feel if they were still working? I am no expert, so I cannot share an opinion on Korea, but back home, this would definitely feel disheartening. And don't get me wrong, the food was incredible, but at the end I asked myself, at what cost?
Same as that one, that also is big enough
side eye panic. Happy cat. More. It's as if you were here. يا ماما كم أجلس كده بشوية. Got salted bread. All in all, Busan was a beautiful escape. I would definitely go back as I feel like we still have a lot to explore and the food was incredible. I definitely want to eat more. I encourage you to plan out Busan a little bit more carefully because the city is a little bit harder to get through, and I think that's on purpose. It's as if it's a hard clam to open and whatever is inside is worth it. I definitely would come back. I definitely don't regret Busan, and I would definitely recommend Busan to everybody else who goes to Korea for the first time.
우리 비행기는 이제 이륙하겠습니다. 좌석 벨트를 매셨는지 다시 한번 확인해 주시기 바랍니다. We are now ready.
Passenger princess. apartment. Jeju accommodation, and it's so amazing. I'm so excited to do the room tour. It's impossible. With the shoes, like a true Korean household, we have all the like storage with where to put the clothes, the shoes. There is more, and this time we have like 4 hangers, not just. And then on here we have a little makeup station, which is super cute. We have a little kitchenette with everything you need to make a small meal, little fridge, couch, table to eat. So we have 2 beds, TV, like the automated bathroom, a nice little mirror with like the changing lights and everything. Woo! Whoop, whoop. So really nice with everything that you need. And the best fucking thing about this is, so it's a wet room style, of course, so the shower is here, and then there is the jacuzzi, the beautiful jacuzzi with a view on the water. Follow your example.
Spoon.
Ah, okay.
And this? We just eat it.
No. Do we eat this
Oh.
directly? Kumaron. So yesterday I was a little bit sick, so didn't do much except for looking out of my window, and then eventually after a lot of medication and a nap we made it out. Evening we went for dinner in a really nice place, so I took a lot of footage, and now we have the whole day out. This is, I think, the earliest we've been out on our own without having like a tour or anything planned. So yeah, now we're gonna go explore the western side of the island. This place has really nice seafood and fish, and Basma is not really a fan of seafood, but she's been enjoying it, so that tells a lot about the freshness of the food. So yay, let's go explore Jeju.
We can like keep stopping from other places and like just focus on.
We initially planned to go to the Osulok Tea Museum. We are in the middle of nowhere, quite literally. I think we are in a farm. I think we're in someone's farm or something. And I love how Basma didn't give up. She's like, no, we're gonna keep going until we reach whatever it is. And we have arrived, and it's pretty. I mean, it's a lot of tea. There's the tea museum, and that's the Innisfree Pigeon House. editing Zineb here. I just wanted to pop by because I didn't write anything in here and I realized I really want to say something. I don't think the Osolokti Museum is worth it unless you have a specific thing in mind. It is not a museum. It was very misleading, so it was quite a letdown. We also did spend quite a lot of money because everything is a little bit higher priced, and there are only a few items I think that you can find in the Jeju store versus the Seoul store. So if you don't really need the Jeju limited editions, you can definitely do the shopping in Seoul with a little bit of a cheaper price tag. And it was crowded. It was a lot, like definitely not worth it in a Jeju itinerary. So yeah. So we're eating guys. And I don't know how to feel about this. So you know that feeling when you go somewhere where time doesn't matter and time feels different? That's how Jeju felt. This was a place where time didn't really matter because everybody's going at a slow pace. But also, surprisingly, when I think of places like that back home, I always think that those are places that are super empty, where I would feel a little bit unsafe maybe. And that was definitely not the case in Jeju. We literally spent an evening in a most random place. We stopped at, I think, an empty gas station where we had dinner. Truly, to this day, this bulgogi soup is one of my favorite things I ate on this trip. But what really stayed with me is one thing that I spoke about with my best friend when we came back, and we just spoke about it also like this week. We had a call. We never felt unsafe. We never felt like something could happen. We never felt like we were not welcomed. And I recognized that this was a privilege. So this was definitely a new feeling. And we went into day 5 with a completely different new perspective because we really wanted to see what the island had to offer. So we started with Loveland, and this was an experience of its own.
Jeju Loveland, which is a sex-positive museum, and there's a lot of representations of people having and enjoying it. But I have to say, my honest review is that it's interesting. I mean, coming from a culture that is very conservative, it's nice to see these things because you never see them. But it's not very body positive. Like, we saw a few parts are like bigger women or bigger men. Bigger men are positively represented. Positive. Bigger women are not very positively represented. It's minus for me. But Interesting. Now we're gonna go inside of the museum.
This whole place was so interesting. We learned that you were recommended to go in here because Jeju was a very popular honeymoon destination, and this was a way to make the people a little bit more body positive and sex positive. And it was definitely quite graphic. But what really struck me the most is the switch that we did between going to Loveland, which is a sex positive sex museum, to a Buddhist temple in the middle of the mountains. And this was a beautiful serenity place. We loved what the feeling of this place brought. We felt at peace, we felt welcomed. We also felt the same coming back from Busan, which is in communion with nature. This was an integrated place with nature, and you never felt like you were separate. The whole point was for you to feel that you were one with nature, that you were part of nature, that human beings are an element in the world and not the main element of the world. This truly was something that I enjoyed, and again, going into places of worship just makes me really contemplate how we as humans dedicate so much of our lives to something, and how we can make so many things beautiful if we really love what we do. And it really made me reflect on my own discipline, on my own way of looking at life, and my own perspective. One thing you need to account for when you're planning your trip to Jeju is that you're gonna have to drive a lot. Having a car really leads you to beautiful places, really leads you to scenic places. I've never felt so much in love with nature as I have been when I was in Jeju. Everything is breathtaking. Everything is really something that I question. How did this beauty come to life? How is this possible? This waterfall was one of them. I felt so small, but in the best way possible. As I think about it, I tear up a little bit because it's wonderful what this world is, and it's wonderful what we experience. And I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to see this and to see it with somebody that I care about.
Food is coming. I can't believe. I can't believe how times have changed. The lobster. Oh, it has that thing. It's not fishy at all. It's sweet. Guys, I have coquillage in my food. Like a legit coquillage. I wonder if it has stuff inside. It doesn't have anything. in Jeju. Today is our last day. We're leaving Jeju and we're leaving this room. Well, this room has been sad because we're going to Seoul, but this room has been very, very good to us. Really loved staying here.
Our last stop was self-care. This whole trip was self-care, but this truly was a culminating moment because we've discussed a lot if we wanted to do this in Seoul. We've tried, but we didn't book anything. We were not sure. A lot of different reviews were different, and we wanted to do it in Busan, but we didn't have enough time. And at the end, we did it in this spa. And this was truly a fantastic experience, not only because the service is great and because this specific spa was amazing. It was freshly opened, so they had a lot of offers. I think we've done a facial plus a head spa for about 80,000 won. It was a special offer for the morning, but it really sums up our experience in Jeju, where time stops but also where time is different. It was a lovely experience, and I would definitely recommend, if you are in Jeju, focus on your self-care and book a spa, because the experience is as good but the views are a lot better. And with that, we had to say goodbye to Jeju. We went back to Seoul, but I will wrap up here about my experience in Korea. I loved everything Korea had to offer because it challenged my views on so many different levels, and it showed me a side of the culture that I wasn't aware of. Yes, K-drama is a big thing, yes, K-pop is a big thing, but there's so much more depth to the culture. The food is incredible. I still dream of all the food I've eaten, and I can't wait for the next time to come back so I can eat more. I loved every moment. Of course, as slow travelers, we don't get to do everything that a lot of other travelers do, but that just makes for space for the next time. And I'm really excited for the next opportunity so that I can discover more of what Korea has to offer. I would love to discover other parts, but I know for sure I'm going back to Seoul now, but in the future. Thanks so much for watching, and if you've loved this, I would love your support. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and see you in the next one.